Good afternoon, everyone. Okay, I can see we still have a few people joining in. I'll just give them a few minutes just to let them join in. And I just want to apologize for people that attended the first session and I just left without saying goodbye or just rudely left because my internet has been giving me problems. But I'm all settled now. I'm actually in the office. It was actually quite nice just to get out of the house, drive to the office, and just have some bit of normality. So I actually enjoyed it. It's actually a good thing that it happened. I'm not complaining, but this is far more stable than what I have at home. So for people that are joining this session for the first time, we will mute your microphones. Please, you're more than welcome to just unmute yourself if you do have a question, or if you would like to add something to comment on the training that we're actually doing. Would really appreciate that. And welcome to the people that are joining us for the first time. I can see some familiar faces and I can see some newbies as well. So it's actually good and refreshing to see that we've also reached other people and not just our regulars. So welcome everybody. My name is Swati. Thank you. Thank you. I think it's pronounced as Goli. Oh my God, no, I'm going to say it wrong. I think you must just correct me before I bite my tongue. But thank you so much. Okay, I think we are ready to start. Welcome to the reports training. Right at the end of the session, I'm also going to show you guys report packs. My name is Twani, and my co-host, my wonderful co-host who's able to just jump in and save the day is Dedre, and I'm sure you guys have joined one of her sessions. And she'll be able to step in should we have anything unforeseen, guys. Everything's so unpredictable. I think we always just preempt that should the situation go a bit down, we've got somebody who will save the day. So I'm very glad to have somebody like her by my side. We'll be doing reports training today, and at the end of the session, I'm going to show you guys report packs. Report packs are literally whatever reports you guys have built, you literally put it on the scheduler. So you don't have to manually send that report at a specific time to the client or early in the morning. You can actually put it on a scheduler to say, first thing in the morning, maybe at 3 a.m., please make sure that the report is delivered. The one thing with report packs is that it will have to involve your IT department because they have to be involved with the setup. Okay. So the report packs, they literally put on a scheduler on your server. So although the setup is done from your workstation, most of the request is done from the server. That is why we need your IT department to be involved, which I'll explain later to you guys. Okay. In your invoicing module, in order for you to run your reports, and remember that you can run your reports on your invoice header items, and that is literally a summary. Your header item or your header details will literally contain information such as your sales by consultant, sales by client. So it doesn't provide you with details because remember that details are actually in the invoice line items. So your invoice header will contain your order numbers, your references, and your invoice totals. So if you just want to do a quick summary or a quick report with just totals, your best bet will be to do it in the invoice header. But if you would like to do a report with details where you actually want to see which is what most corporates actually ask for. They want to see what was the detail in the invoice. What did the invoice contain? You can run a report on analysis by passenger, commission type, whether it's on your service fees, whether it's on a specific supplier. Those are the reports that you will run in your invoicing line items. Okay. I think I've shared my invoicing screen already. If there isn't anybody that can see, please just give me a shout. But in your invoice header, that will be your invoice totals, your header details. But what we'll be focusing on today is actually your invoice line items. I'm going to select invoice line items. And this is the screen that will pop up. I'm not going to go through each and every field. So what I need you guys to do is that we're trying to give you an overview of how to run your reports, but we also want you to go and actually play a bit. I think that's the idea behind it. Play a bit and just try and build as many reports as you would like and start building your own reports. I know a lot of people hand it over to somebody else to do the reports for them, but now you've got the ability to actually build your own reports. Okay, so the range would literally be for when you're actually, what are you trying to build? Are you doing a report? A lot of people build a report based on a period. You can do it per date. You can do it consulted. So on that drop-down arrow, it gives you more information as to what to set the range to. In most instances, people use period, but if you do not want to use period, you're more than welcome to change the range. Okay, on your far right-hand side, these, I always refer to these as the columns in your report. So each and every single item that you see here is actually going to be a column in your report. You do not want to include the field, you have to exclude it. Okay, so you'll see that a lot of things are ticked, some are unticked. I always say, rather put everything that's ticked right on top so you can auto sort. By right click, you've got your auto sort button over there. What the auto sort button does is that it's going to give you every single field that will be included in your report right at the top and everything else that's deactivated right at the bottom. So if you do wish to include a certain field, which is sitting right at the bottom, you can actually use the delete key. The delete key, you can use it to select and deselect fields. Okay. Now you've got the option. Now I've just added client name as an additional field. I can auto sort again. And in most instances, this list is long. Honestly, I don't know if anybody has got the time to have actually gone through this list, but we've literally put in every single thing that you will be able to report on. So the list is long. Instead of you literally just dragging down, you've also got the option of quickly searching for a field. Okay, by clicking on that magnifying glass, it gives you the option to find the text much quicker instead of you scrolling down that list and searching one by one for a certain field. By clicking on the magnifying glass, you've got limit to section, but you've also got limit or look for text. The system will look for whatever text. So if you type in perhaps benchmark, you're looking for a specific text and it's got benchmark in its name, or any text that you're looking for, think of it that way. You can type in the text, the system is going to search in all those columns and it will take you closest to actually what you have actually typed. I'm going to type supplier as something that is commonly used. So supplier, it gives me a list of everything that contains the name supplier. Is it a primary supplier line? Is it supplier amount? Is it supplier BSP? So the system gives me every single thing that contains the name supplier, and I can actually choose what it is that I want from that list. Okay, I'm just going to select supplier name. The option of including all. If you wanted to include all these texts or these fields in your report, you can actually include all. But because I just want to include supplier name, I'm just going to select supplier. Okay, I can then include it by clicking on the delete key. If I auto sort again, the system is literally going to put everything that I've activated right on top and everything that I've deactivated right at the bottom. If you're ever unsure what a certain field actually entails or what information you will get from that specific field, if you right click, I'm going to select something that's not used by everybody across the board. So if I were to highlight division and I wasn't sure what does the term division actually means, I can right click and actually ask the system, what's this? The system will actually give me a detailed explanation of what the field actually entails. So there it actually gives me that the division is displayed on the header division or name, grouping code or name automatically included on the display action selected. Okay, so if you're ever unsure or you're not certain whether to include a certain field or not, you can literally just double check by asking the system, what is this? The system will give you more details and you can decide whether to include or exclude the field. Okay. Any questions so far? Sounds like somebody's driving, or it could be just me. Okay, no questions so far. Perfect. Right. So you often find when you're building your report, you actually want to include, let me make a proper example. With the supplier code, I want to report on one supplier, or I want to report on multiple suppliers. The system allows you to actually apply filters. So you will look for the field that you want to include more than one character on. Perhaps you're building a supplier report and you want to include more than one supplier, or you're doing a commission type. You want your domestic air travel and your international air travel. I think that's where you need to try and associate with the filtering with. What information am I trying to pull from this field? Is it limited to one specific character, or do I need more information from that field that I've created? So if I were to go to something that's commonly used, like your supplier code, I want to run a quick report, but I want to include more than one supplier. Or let's first start with something simple. I actually want to include one supplier. So now that's when you'll apply your filters. So in order for you to apply your filters, you need to double click on that field that you would like to add, the content on. You'll see that the first two blocks are always automatically ticked for you. So the last one would be to apply a filter to the query output, which you will then have to put a tick in it. Okay, so the moment you put a tick in the query, apply a filter to query output, it will ask you, you'll see so many filter types. So this, again, it's quite a lot. And it's either you've got the option of using one, or you can actually just say, I need to limit to one specific thing, which will be equal to. So when you select equal to, it limits you to one field. You'll see that it will also give you a drop down on the value that you can actually. We have a question in the chat. No sound. Okay. Can everybody else hear me? Daniel doesn't seem to have a sound. Can't hear properly. Okay. It went off a bit. Okay.
Hello, Tony.
Hello.
Can I ask?
Yes, please go right ahead. Oh no, you don't even can I? You just go right ahead and just ask the question.
Okay. Isn't it the second time doing this report?
You know what it is, and I'll tell you why. The reason why we have repeated some of the content is that we send out a mass mail, and the mass mail is not reaching everybody. So this is why when we send out that invitation for you guys to join the session, we're giving you much more details as to what the session actually entails. So it's not mandatory for everybody to actually do the session. If you've attended this, you're more than welcome to exit and join in the other sessions that you haven't done. But what we've done is that we found that we send out a mass mail, but it's not everybody that's actually getting these emails. So this is why we've posed the question, what do you guys want to hear more about? And a lot of people said reports are a bit of an issue, which is why we are repeating this. So I know it's the first time she's joining this one. So I know that you have joined, but you're more than welcome to just exit this session because you have attended the training session.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Okay. And this is applicable to other people as well. If we have joined in the reports training, nothing has changed, to be honest. We are literally just repeating what other people could not, didn't get a chance to hear. That's exactly what we're doing. Okay. Right. So if I were to select containing, that will allow me to add more than one character. So I think I've selected supplier code. I'm just going to use commonly used ones. Commonly used ones. So I'll separate it using a comma because I definitely now booked a lot of SAAs. I'm not sure about British Airways, but we will see. Okay. So I've put in my values, which is the 2 airline codes, and I can click on save. So the supplier code, the report that I'm actually building, it's just going to contain the date, the document type, the document number, item number, consultant, client code. So I haven't even grouped this report. I've literally just said, build a report for me, but I need to see the supplier codes 083 and 125. So if I were to click on build and view, that's how you will actually build the report. I hope I've got some transactions. Yes, I do. Okay, so this is literally what the report will contain. All right. Okay, so do you see right there on top, it's got all the supplier codes with 125. Right at the bottom, it also just applies 125. Then it gives me the 083s. So there's my supplier code right at the top and with my columns that I've included in my report. Any questions so far? Okay, I'll consider that there's no questions. At this point, if you are happy with your report, you are able to print it to PDF. You're also able to export it to Excel. I'm not going to do that because now I don't have Excel installed. Okay. Right, I've got one question in the chat. Can the invoices and credit notes that I cancel on? Okay, Daniel, we're coming to that question. That's a very important question. Daniel has just asked, if you guys have done a credit note, are you able to exclude it in your report and just show the current or the saved or the correct invoice, which you can definitely do. I'm coming to that question. Thank you, Daniel. So if I were to go out, that's the report I've done without any grouping. The system also allows you to group your report. Perhaps you want to see first group it by consultant or by client code. You are able to literally group it. So you've got up to 5 additional fields to group your report. If I were just to add first, just to group the existing report that I've built, but just limit that to, or group it according to the consultants. Okay, so Vanisha, I'm going to answer you shortly. So if I were to apply grouping and I apply by consultant, please make sure that the moment you start working with groups, make sure that you untick the group total query. The reason why I say this, because you still want to see the line items or the detailed. The moment you've got that group total query, it will only give you the totals. Okay, it's not going to show you the line items. So if you untick it, you click on build and view, you'll see that now my report is built per consultant. Okay, so it tells the moment you click on that drop down for group summary, you've got the option for full all levels. Full all levels allows you to actually see all the transactions. So it's going to show you all the invoices that make up that specific total for that consultant. Okay. I don't think today is my lucky day. I can see it's telling me that my internet is unstable. So I'm obviously not the only one who's experiencing this problem. Okay. So your grouping, it will first group it by the consultant and it will give you the details further down. You can still export this to Excel, and you should be happy with the report. There was a question that came through from Vanisha. When I export, it does not pull the format of the calculations. Am I exporting it incorrectly? No, Vanisha. Are you, if you may answer this, are you on LibreOffice or are you using Excel?
So I use Excel. I use Office 365.
No, it shouldn't. It definitely.
Yeah, it doesn't pull. Whenever I pull it, I have to put in my own calculations. I have to redo the calculations.
Oh no! Please, if it is possible, can we have a look at that? And we'll give you more reasons, or just to give you more info why it's doing that. But it shouldn't do that, because
okay, perfect.
You literally build your report here in QuickTrack. By the time you export it to Excel, it should be a finalized document. Ask your IT to take your original settings. So we've got Janita. Thank you, Janita, who's just added a comment that you should ask your IT to check your original settings. Thanks a lot, guys. Okay. Another very fun thing to do, I think the one thing is that you don't want to be building the report in QuickTrack and trying to fix it. Literally drag it and put it right at the top. I don't have to export it and then fix my report once it's actually in Excel. You can fix your report here. Make sure that you're happy with the report. By the time you save it and you have to build the same report next month, all you do is come in, change the date, and you're done. Okay, so Daniel actually experienced the same problem as you, Vanisha, but he had to take the amounts and he had to change the numbers. Let's look into that. So if it is something, thanks for bringing it to our attention. We'll definitely have a look at that, because it's not supposed to be happening that way, okay? Right. Earlier on, Daniel asked when you've actually done a credit note. So you've got a credit note and you've done an incorrect invoice. If I may backtrack, you've done an incorrect invoice, you credit noted, and you raise a proper invoice. So those two documents those first two documents contra each other. So you wouldn't want to include those documents, but only the final document in the report. Does somebody want to ask a question? Okay, no problem. Right. So you've got your custom ruler right there at the top. It's got a little ruler right with a blue ruler right there at the top. It's your custom option. So if you were to click on the custom option, it actually gives you the option to exclude your contra documents. Another very important thing that we find is that you've raised a ticket and you've got your merged fees, but when you do your report, suddenly the merged fees are appearing. So you've also got the option, of hiding those merged fees or not showing those merged fees separately. And by doing that, when you click on the custom option, you've got this option to either show your merged fees separately. So if it's unticked, the merged fees are going to show separately, but the moment it's ticked, it's not going to show separately. And the option to also exclude your contra documents. Okay, so this is also subject that you've actually done the credit note. I'm sure you would have joined in Dedre's previous session. When you've got an incorrect invoice, and then you copy that document into a credit note, very important, because if you've raised a credit note without copying that, it is just going to sit there without the contra document. But the moment you copy and reverse it, or you actually reverse it by copying, then you are able to exclude the contra document. Okay. Charlene? Okay, so please let me know if there's no sound, guys. We seem to be having a problem with the sound. I'm really sorry about this. It's really something beyond my control. If anybody else is experiencing problems with the sound, please give me a shout. Okay, so in order to exclude those documents or not to show your merged fees separately, you'll select the option, custom option, and actually tweak it right there. Once you've done, or you've added, or you've ticked exclude contra documents, you make sure that you save. Very important. Okay. One thing you'll also find with reports is that you can build your report, be happy with the report. You don't want to be doing the same report the following week or the following month. You are able to actually save your reports by clicking on the save button. You can actually give it a code. This is internal. It does not have to be something, it can be 001 or whatever key that you would like to give it, something that you will remember when you want to do the next report, and a description. Perhaps you're doing for a specific corporate, perhaps you're doing it for your internal, internally, maybe your consultants, turnover, whatever the case may be. But you give it a description that you will be aware of and you will know what it actually means to you. You've got the option of sharing this report with other users, but if you untick it, it will only be for your eyes. So if you do want to share it with others, please make sure that you do put a little tick in it. And it was the other things that if you want your consultants or the other people in your team to be able to make changes to the report, you can actually allow for other parameters or other users to change the parameters. Okay. So once you're happy with the description, you are able to save the report, which I'm not going to save at this point. Okay, Vanisha's got a question. I have a request quite often to produce the number of international days travel for insurance calculations. It doesn't count the departure date and return date. Is there a way of doing it? Vanisha, first question, have you activated the departure and the return date in your system setup?
Yes, I have.
Okay, so then let's see, because you can do your days away report. I definitely know there's a report that you can actually do to do your days away report.
Okay.
Have you tried that report?
Maybe I'm not doing it correctly. So if you could possibly show it, it would be appreciated.
Okay, no problem. I'm not sure if I've got in my system set up the return dates activated. So now my problem is that I don't think I've got return dates activated. So the first point would, you need to make sure that your return dates are activated.
Okay.
In order for you to report on the days away or the number of days traveled, firstly. I definitely,
yes, ours is activated.
Is it activated? I definitely have a report that I can forward through to you, because mine will not give me that information because I don't have days away. Okay, somebody else is interested. Can I quickly activate it so I can show you guys? I might have to do 1 or 2 invoices so I can show you. Is that okay with everybody? Okay, perfect. I think it's tap capture return dates. Okay, capture return dates. That is activated. I showed. Perfect. So I actually have it activated. Right. So inquiries, invoice line items. Okay. I'm going to search in the text days. Okay. So days away. Here it is. Did you see I went for look for text because I wasn't going to scroll through that whole report? So I've got my days away domestic, days away international, or days away in total. By just typing the text days, it's able to report. I'm going to activate it so we can see how it actually pulls through. Let me just do this, and I'm just going to include days away. Select. Okay. I'm just going to do a quick one with the days. I've just done days away in total, okay? Let's limit this to international air. So if I were to auto sort my report again, commission type. I'm going to limit this to only international. Do you commonly just use it for international, or do you do it for domestic as well?
Only for international.
Perfect. I'm going to do international. Hopefully I've got some international air travel. Okay, so I've also just limited under my commission types. So I only want to see international air travel. Okay. So under com type, I've stipulated that I want to see international air travel. Then I've got days, which is also included. Days away, I think it's further down, days away in total. If I click on build and view, it should be able to give me international air travel because it's right on the far right hand side. There it's my travel date and my return date. So total days in total, there it is on the far right hand side. Can you see that, Vanisha?
Yes, I see it. Thank you.
Okay, perfect. Was that clear enough? Will you be able to manage on your own?
Yes, I will. Yeah, I think I was just missing the total days. So yeah, it's fine.
That's perfect. Any other questions? Okay, I've got 2 from the chat now. Okay, it's yes. That's perfect. Right. Any other questions, guys? We often, you know what it is? I think we are used to just building a report, but you deal with your clients, and your clients have specific requirements when it comes to your reports. So it is their requirements which will then allow you to play on the system to say, this is what my client requires. Now I need to play. Because right now what I'm showing you is what the system. Oh, I'm so sorry, Janita. Yes, the session is recorded and we're trying to upload it on YouTube as well. I'm so sorry. I really do apologize if I was a bit fast. Let me know after the session if you would like me to just go over it again, please. I'm happy to do so. Okay. So now, I think the thing is that we build reports. We build standard reports. If you can also just go, you'll see that with the system queries, we've also got commonly used reports. If you click on the open button, right at the bottom, you've got your system queries. We've got your air detailed report. We've got your air detailed report showing savings. Your carbon emission report, your hotel detailed report. If you guys are using your internal credit card, you are able to actually do a report and see what tickets were invoiced using the agency's credit card. Your total spend as well, per passenger, per order number. So we've got reports that are also commonly used. You guys will then have to go and filter or apply the changes to say, now I want to see an air detailed report by a specific corporate. Then you need to go to your client code and make sure you apply your filters. So right now, I think we're just giving you the idea of how to build your report, but it will be based on what your clients actually want, that you will then have to search for the fields or include what fields have to be added. Okay, am I making sense? I feel like I'm talking too much. Okay. Can you repeat where you did without going through the whole list? Okay, perfect. Daniel has just asked me to go back to where you guys can find the days. Remember earlier on I mentioned the magnifying glass. I love the magnifying glass. Maybe it's because I'm lazy, but the magnifying glass literally finds most of the things that you're looking for. Okay, so you can type one of the text or just a text. It's going to find you everything containing that text. That's what I love about the magnifying glass. So if I click on the magnifying glass, I literally just skip the limit to section and I typed in the days in the look for text tab, if I might call it a tab. But in the look for text field, it's actually a field. In the look for text field, I typed in days and it managed to pull advanced purchase days. If you have it activated, you are able to report on it. Days away, international and domestic, and the days away in total. Okay, so anything that is linked to days, the system is able to provide that field name for me, and I need to select what it is that I'm looking for. Okay, perfect, Danielle. Thank you so much. Okay, so now you would have built your report, saved your report, and you're happy with the report. One more thing I need to just show you guys. I don't know if you guys are aware. The moment you've built your report, by double-clicking on that invoice number, it takes you back to the invoice. I don't know if a lot of people know this, but just in case you want to double-check something, this is another way of this, the line item taking you to the original invoice, okay? Instead of you going back into the invoice register. I find it fascinating. Sorry. Okay. Right now, I'm going to go through. Are there any questions? Because now I'm ready to show you guys report packs. And please tell me if I'm going too quickly. I am talking to myself though, because there isn't anybody talking back to me. So I might just be going too quickly. Oh, yes, Vanisha. Yes, of course. My goodness. I'm so sorry, Vanisha. Very good question. You've also got the option of doing your charts. Remember, charts, they obviously need your first grouping by or anything that it should be grouped against so that it's actually available. So I'm just going to select consultant as an example. When you click, I'm going to untick because this is what I sing in my head. Always untick the group total query. So if you want to build a graph, you've also got the option of actually adding a graph to your reports. Okay, so by clicking on build and view, you'll see that you've also got the option of building a graph. The system is literally going to give you various graphs that you can actually use. Now, this is obviously going to be information based on what you've actually built. So you can actually select whatever graph you would like to use, copy that to your report and send it off to the client. So this is something internal. This was for the consultants. You are able to even show your consultants. And you know, visuals appeal to people. So maybe a graph will make more sense for them than them seeing figures, but you've got the option of doing the graph. You can copy the graph by selecting the copy button and adding the graph to your report. Okay, any questions? Perfect, thanks Vanisha. Thanks for reminding me. Okay, so now what I spoke to you about, guys, earlier on, putting these reports on a scheduler, it does take time to build the reports, but this is the first step because you do have to build your own reports. So you first build the reports. Once you've built the report, then you can put it on a scheduler. There's definitely a couple of things that your IT will have to help you with because you will need information such as your HTTP host name, the document router, and I definitely know, I'm not technical, I'm going to defend myself in this case, but I definitely know that this is information that you will have to get from your IT person. Okay, so the nice thing about these reports is that you can literally put it on a scheduler. By the time that your recipient, because you can actually decide who the recipient is, put that person as a recipient, so that the email or the report is delivered to them at 3 o'clock in the morning or 2 a.m. in the morning, whatever the case may be. The reason behind report packs is that it helps by not bogging down the network. So we often find that if reports are done maybe at night, everybody's able to work nicely and swiftly during the day without anybody just bogging down the network, because reports sometimes they can be quite huge and it takes a bit of a while to actually send them out. So if you put it on the scheduler, it does actually help. Okay, I'm going to cancel this screen. And to set up your report packs, still under inquiries, you'll select report packs and set up report packs. Okay, I've got just a general one. I don't even have NemPack as a client, but I've just used a fictitious one such as NemPack. Okay, firstly, I'm going to go 2 steps back. Make sure, remember, as I mentioned earlier on, you need to save your report and give it a specific name. So make sure that you've saved your report. I'll maybe use D2. Make sure that you know what the report name is when you're ready to set up your report packs, because you will have to know what the name of the report is, especially when you guys do a lot of reports. There could be a long list of the reports. So if you don't know the name, it might take you a bit of a while to set it up. I'm going to hit that. Right. So to set up your report packs, inquiries, report packs, and set up report packs. Okay. You'll click on new to set up your new report pack. We know that it's not a lot of people that are using report packs, and we are hoping that you guys will actually make use of this, because you're not even paying extra for this. You might even have time to take up golf or something, a new hobby. So because you'll have so much time on your hands. Okay. So a key is literally an internal identifier number. I think if you've used QuickTrav for a long time, you know that you can use 001, 002, but it is literally an internal identifier number. It does nothing to the system. It only pertains to you. Description, I can literally just call it what I want, maybe a ABC weekly report or monthly report, depending on what type of a report it is that you're actually building. Okay. Now, this is exactly where you'll set the scheduler to run on. Do you want it to run on Sundays? Do you want it to run on Mondays? So this is the day that you would like the report to run on. If it's all days of the week, that will obviously be like a daily report. But if it is a monthly report, you can decide on a day, and you can also stipulate the last day, the day that you would like to deliver this report. Perhaps it's a report that you do on a monthly basis. You can decide that I want to do this report once I've checked everything is in order, maybe the 7th of each and every month. Before you close month end, maybe you close your month end on the 31st. That's another option. But you can stipulate the day of the month that you would like to run this report. Okay, the schedule time, that's the time that you would like the scheduler to run so that your report is actually delivered. So you can decide on a time that's suitable for you. Right. You can password protect it so that the recipient can open the Excel or whatever zip file that you've sent through to them with the password that you would have given them. But it's not mandatory. It still applies that anything that's highlighted in green is a mandatory field. Anything that's highlighted in white is an optional field. So if you want to password protect it, you are able to add a password, but you would have to share it with the recipient. But if you do not want to add a password, you can leave it blank. Okay, any questions on this first screen? I'll assume that it's all good. Okay. Wait, I've got 2 people on the chat. All good? Perfect. Right. I'm going to move to items, which is the report that you actually want to include in your report pack. So if you click on the items tab, you've got your new button right there at the top. When you click on new, it's going to ask you, do you want a new query item or a new report item? I often use the new query item, okay? Because at the end of the day, I have already built that query. So I'm literally just saying, bring me the query that I have already built, but it's only to include it in the scheduler, okay? So query type, it will ask you what type of a query are you trying to build. So because remember, as I explained earlier, you've got your invoice header and you've also got your line items. Definitely choose your invoice line items, because your recipient or the person that you're building this report for, in most cases, they will actually want to see the invoice line items. There's a list, it's a whole lot of things that you can actually go through. So if you just want to play around with this, you've got your invoice header, you've got your line item on a SQL base, you've got your land principles, but a lot of times you'll literally be taking that report that you've already built, putting it on a scheduler, which is going to be your line items. Okay. Your query, that is going to be my query that I've already saved. So I'm just going to take D2, that total spend report that I've already saved. So that's why I mentioned earlier on, you need to know the name of or the description of your report, because this is where the question will come. What type of a report or which report are you trying to put on a scheduler? I'm going to select my D2 total spend report. Then the output name will literally be that. But if I want the output name to read as something different, I'm able to change that or tweak it as I wish, and the system will then apply that output name. Okay. Detailed report, I definitely want a full detailed. Remember, when we've built the report, you've got your primary levels and you've got your full levels. That gives you all that information. This is exactly the question that it's asking you. Okay, I'm going to come back to your question, Daniel, in 2 seconds. Right, the output format, do you want it as an Excel or do you want it as Adobe? But in most cases, a lot of people just use Excel. Also manually generate this report without putting it on a scheduler. You can literally manipulate the report. Okay, sorry, I saw a message about the internet being unstable. Sorry about that. So you can manipulate the report to say, I want the report from the previous month up to current. So -1 will be the previous month. Current -2 will be the 2 previous periods. So this is where you guys decide, do I want only for current because I've specified the dates, but now if I run a report every second month, it will be -1 current up to current. Am I making sense? Okay. Thanks, Manisha. Okay, sometimes it feels like one is going crazy by talking to themselves. But literally, current is literally the current period that you're in. Okay, so remember that we work on a period, we are period locked. So if I'm doing a report because my invoicing module is in January, it will be current. But if I want to deliver this report for December and January, I will definitely make it from current -1 up to current. So this is literally how far back do you want to go? That's the question. Okay. If anybody's unclear, please just unmute yourself and you're more than welcome to ask. Okay. Your conditions. Okay. I definitely say it's always. So if they are only if the results okay. Please select always. That's the only reason. I know that you always have to select always. I'm sorry, I can't give an explanation as to what the other one means. Okay. Once you're happy with that information that you've captured, you can select on save. Right. So there's my report. Details. I'm just going to put my details. Right. The email address of the recipient. You can tell. Okay. And obviously that will be, okay. I'm going to explain this because I definitely have a client that is using this. You've got the option of FTPS is available. I'm not sure about FTP. I will check for you, but you can actually FTPS this report to a specific client. So a client would usually just set up a destination of where the file needs to dump. So it will be in a secure folder, and they'll literally unzip that file with the password and make sure that they get the report in that specified destination. But this is where you don't want anything. It mostly works if you are actually saving this. They've given you a destination, maybe on their server, they want you to make sure that that zip file goes to that specific folder. So this will happen in that instance. But if you have a specified email address, you can literally just specify that it needs to go out as an email to the specified recipient. FTP and FTPS, it depends. This works if you've got a corporate that tells you, I need these reports, but I need you to deliver it because we need to add more details to it or reconcile, whatever the case may be. A lot of people, I know the specific client, which I cannot mention, but they use it for recon purposes. So we make sure that we've got a path that's been set, that file literally drops in that folder and they pick it up from there and do their own recon. Okay. Right, and deliver as, you can either deliver it as an attachment or URL, and I prefer attachment, okay? So once you've populated the recipient's details, you can click on save. Right, you're actually done with majority of the hard work. So there's your monthly report. You can actually manually generate it. Perhaps there was something that you had to do, you didn't put it on a schedule, or you forgot, whatever the case may be. I don't know, there was power failure and the report could not go out, because these things do happen. You are able to manually generate that report. Okay. One thing before you actually activate this, you do have to go into your invoicing module under my preferences. So that's why I'm saying this does involve a whole lot of setup, which we are really happy to show you guys. We can even send you the document, upload the document for you guys, so that you are able to save the document, and we can help you step by step when you're ready to actually do a report back. Okay, so in your my preference, you need to select my report packs. So you need to make sure that auto run on startup is actually activated. So the moment that you actually open up your quick job applications, then the optionally, how can I put it? Optionally, the auto run report pack generator will start up. Okay, so but remember, as I mentioned earlier on, this needs to also read back to your server. So it is a bit of a complicated process, because it does involve a highly tech setup, because now the server still needs to run a scheduler, but if we haven't done, or the reports were not sent out, as you open up your quick travel applications, you are able, the system is able to see your report pack request and actually generate the manual report, or generate the reports for you.
guys. Oh my word. I've been talking nonstop for 2 minutes. This is Deirdre, in case you're wondering what the hell's happening. I had my bloody microphone on mute and I'm talking. And my daughter's like, I don't think anybody's responding. Hello, everybody. Sorry about that. This is Deirdre, Quick Software again. I think you're tired of me. Quite a few old people here who's been on all the session. Hi, Nishan and Mona. And Alta and everybody. Shayman and Daniel. Is it Kogilam? If I mispronounced it, I do apologize. I'm sorry. I'm going to try. Oh, Quick is back. Twani's back. I don't know where she went, but she's back. This poor chick has got such problems. I feel so sorry for her. She drove into work, guys, for nothing. And she's still disconnecting. No matter where she goes, she's just disconnecting. You must feel sorry for her. This poor chick is like in the wild, wild west. Twani, my babes, I see we've got a screen again. Are you okay?
Hello, Deirdre. Hi, everyone. I'm so sorry. Today is obviously not my day. I should probably be at the pub or bottle store or something to get myself a drink after this day. But I really guys. Okay. Are there any questions? I think the last thing I said was, there any questions? But I think I did not get a response. I'm really sorry about this. It's really beyond my control. But do you guys have any questions?
Swan, if it helps you, nobody asked any questions in the group chat because I was like checking the group chat. And I just said I was talking for 2 minutes straight to myself, and then only I realized my mic is muted. My daughter's like, what? Why are you repeating yourself? I'm like, because I muted myself. I'm an idiot.
Oh, sure. But okay, I'm really sorry about that. I think I need to show you guys how to manually generate your reports. So if you go back into report packs, you've got generate report packs. I had this. Okay. So I think, I don't know if I mentioned this, I might be repeating myself as well. Well, it looks open right there at the bottom. You've got your generate button right there at the bottom. And this is in such instances where the internet just fails you or you've got power failure. So you can still manually generate the report. By clicking on generate, it's gonna ask me, do you want to generate the ABC report monthly, the monthly report? All I do is click on yes. So then it's the custodian, it's shouting at me because I don't have the proper setup. My IT has not been involved with the setup. So that's why it's screaming at me. But the nice thing about report packs is that you are able to actually see the register. So it will tell you whether the report packs were delivered or if they were not delivered. Okay, so I think I spoke too quickly there. I'm gonna go into inquiries, report packs, and report packs register. Okay, so if there were any report packs that I have generated, and this is either on a scheduler or on the scheduler or either manually, they will definitely pop up there. Okay, so your report packs, they'll literally tell you the status, whether it was successful or it failed or whatever the case may be. It will give you a proper status, the start time, the end time, and who was the user. Okay, so it's actually going to give you a proper report of whether the report was successfully delivered or not. Okay. Right. Any questions? Okay. So can I actually attach that reports pack document for you guys? Is it okay? Do you want to test it? But we are afraid to let you guys test report packs without us being involved because it is a lengthy setup. Whatever you guys would like. Okay, yes, please. Perfect. All right. I've got a lot of yes, please. I'm going to attach the document for report packs for you guys. Have a look at it. You are welcome to play around. But if you do need our assistance, please give us a shout. You're more than welcome to just give us a shout and tell us that you need the assistance. Okay. But that's literally it from me and my bad internet connectivity. If you guys need the recording, we are going to upload it. But hopefully tomorrow is a better day. I think I should just take it like a pinch of salt. Tomorrow will be a better day.
I think you need a rinse and repeat, hey? It's like, okay, let's just go do a hard reboot because it's not your day.
I need vodka.
Shame. Cheryl, we can absolutely send the report back for you on email. It's not a problem. But please keep in mind, this is a technical doc. We're not saying you're stupid. It will need some help from your IT person because it will need to open up some ports and stuff. So there will be some various sessions, not sessions, settings. Apologies. It's been a long day. But we can do that for you, okay?
Thank you so much for your understanding. Thank you.
I just think we have the best clients. That's all I can say because they're so understanding and they're all just trying to sail the boat in this rocky ocean called COVID right now. So you guys are just like the best.
A very rocky ocean, eh?
Oh, shit, it's funny.
Okay, I'm going to attach the file for you guys. Okay, in 2 seconds, please. So if you are still in the group, just hold on 2 seconds. I'm going to attach it shortly. Okay, there we go. I've attached the document. You guys can download it. And good luck, please. Please do not try and, like Deirdre mentioned, please do not try and attempt to set it up by yourselves. It is quite a detailed document. Would, by all means, help you guys. And just give us a shout, and we will gladly assist. Thank you.